Good morning out there. Good morning. It's me from me and
Good morning out there.
oh, wait a minute. I got two things going at once. Hang on.
From me and
Silence this one. All right. I had YouTube open and StreamYard. Come here, boo boo. Come get your owl. Come get your owl. How's everybody doing? 14 people out there. I wasn't sure. This is sort of like an impromptu thing. Can people hear me all right? Hi, Jamie. Nice to see you. Come get your owl. We don't know where this came from, but he's appropriated it. Oh my God, nurturing. You did catch a live. It's been a while. And look at the spontaneous things are often the best, right? Can everybody hear me all right? Yeah, he's coming to get his thing. He's into shaking. He was shaking the unicorn, which is hilarious because it's bigger than him. Okay, go ahead. Take it. Take it. Take it where you want. I got to show you my sweatshirt. Look who is peeking at you. Reference an email. Just yesterday. Look who is. I don't know what that means. It's me. I need more. Can I buy a vowel? Hey, you don't bite me. You bite the toy. There you go. I got to show you my sweatshirt. I thought that was appropriate. Oh, he's wanting me to throw it. Here, go get it. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I might be doing some toy throwing while I'm doing this. Look who is peeking at you. Reference an email just yesterday. It'll be, I don't know what. Oh, hi, Rabbit. Okay, I get it now. I do owe you a response. I did read your whole email. I'm glad to see you again. Thank you for reminding me. Beasley, go get your bone. I'm surprised he's let this scrunchie be in here that long. He really needs to get outside, and today's the day. I'm gonna take him for a walk. We went for a mini walk today, but he's been putting up with me being sick. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Go get your bone. Go find your toy, okay? Where's your toy? Here's one. This was, I try to find these non-destructible ones that he can't, well, see, he's already chewed off the one. Here, go get it. All right. I am feeling better. I'm definitely feeling better. He is definitely, hang on. Where's your toy? Sit. Okay, go find your bone. Go find your toy. Look, there's your toy. Go find your bone. He's, no. Hey, you don't bite on mama. Go find your bone. I'm here. Okay, we'll refer to you as just me. It's me. Okay, it's me. I'm sorry. You never know what you're going to have to deal with here, and I didn't realize he was going to be chewy. Hey, sit. Good boy. Sit. Go find your toy. Sit. Still try to teach these commands. Where's your bone? He gets in this real like pawing and chewing mode. So, see what I mean? Okay, come sit with mama. There we go. Good morning, Rosie Smith. Who else is here? DNA Forever. These are some kind of new names to me. Let's see who else we got in the house. Davis. So, okay. I got to thinking about I want to shift the energy on the page today, on the channel today. And I got to thinking about a funny story that's been kind of rattling around in my brain. And then another one that got kind of, I remembered about yesterday. So I put two options there. So if you have a request of one of these two stories, one is called Grandma's Hat, and the other is called Last Place to First. They're both funny. They both are from my life. Hang on. I got to get my leg out of the way because he is just chewing on every aspect. He loves my feet. They're both involving most embarrassing moments. I might have to put him in the bedroom. Beasley, sit. She keeps looking out the window. We have a bear roaming around in the neighborhood. And so I'm being very careful. And then we had a diseased raccoon that got picked up by some game warden or something. So careful about him going outside. So does anybody have any request of either of those two? I'm sorry, this dog is just Now he's poking at the computer. Beasley, knock it off. John's not here right now, and he uses the voice, knock it off. Okay, Grandma. All right, the grandma one is funny. Hi, Jane. I'm going to give him a little more time to chill. Here he is. How are you guys doing, by the way? All right, I'm going to tell the grandma's hat story then. I don't know. It's not really that long of a story, but it is funny. And so I have these, and how I got reminded of it was I have these friends in Sonoma and from my Arizona days. And I used to spend a lot of time with these guys. They're a married couple, 2 guys. And I spent a lot of time with them, holidays, spent a lot of time, weekends at their house and stuff. I have traveled with them. I have a lot of funny memories from them, both really fun, funny guys. And so one of them sent me a text recently where he goes, we're sitting here and your picture popped up. They have in their dining room one of those digital photo album things. So it just scrolls through pictures and they program pictures in there. And apparently there's some pictures of me in there. And so they said, your picture popped up, and that got us to reminiscing about funny stories, and we can't stop laughing. The 2 that he referenced were the one with your grandma's hat and the other one with the whirling dervish, which I have no idea what the whirling dervish is, but I can only imagine. So, yes, he's trying to kiss me. So I immediately remembered the grandma's hat story, and I'm going to tell it. So I was living in Phoenix at the time, Tempe specifically. And one thing that I love, and maybe many of you as well, is going to afternoon tea, like a high tea. And so one of my friends was involved with a fundraiser that was doing this teddy bear tea at the Ritz-Carlton, which doesn't exist there any longer. And I had never been to this teddy bear tea there, but it's for like moms and daughters and cute and everything. And people wear their hats and dress up and everything like that. So she invited me to join in on this. It was for her mother's dance studio that she taught children dance. So that makes sense that it'd be teddy bear tea, right? And it was around Christmas time. So it was even more like, I think there might have been even a Nutcracker theme to this thing, but they had I think they might have had some dancers there or something. They had characters roaming around during this. So there was going to be kids there and stuff like that. Her daughter was going to be there. And so I was having a morning, one of those mornings, the day that I was going to go to this thing. It's like a Sunday morning where everything was just going wrong, and everything was just getting in my way and nothing was coming together. But I'm going to the Ritz-Carlton for a fancy tea. So I want to look the part. Now, I inherited a collection of my grandmother's vintage hats. My grandma was a very high society, New York City woman of means, and she wore hats everywhere. And I have the boxes. I had that flood at my place in Arizona, so I lost a lot of stuff. So I don't even know if I have any of the hat boxes left, but I do have the hat somewhere in a tote downstairs. And, there's Lord and Taylor and Neiman Marcus and, all these labels that are in these old hats from like the 30s, And so I have this collection of my grandma's hats that I would pull them out and wear them occasionally. So I wanted to wear one for this, going to this high tea and wearing a hat, which I would often do. And she has some really cool ones. Like my favorite one, I should find it, was this black velvet beret with like a grosgrain ribbon here, and just so cool, this beret. And I wore that one a lot. And there were 2 black velvet berets, actually. One was a little more substantial, like a little French beret hat. And another one was a little more kind of floppy. And anyway, and then I had like these cool pins that were in these many of these hats, one being like a spider and, just like hat pins too, like the pokey thing, and just this collection of cool hats. So I put together this, what I thought should be, a swanky outfit to go to this thing. But of course, I'm totally a hot mess that morning. But I probably had picked out my outfit the night before, because this is kind of a big deal for me. It was all black. I think I was wearing a long black velvet skirt. I love that skirt too. And these black boots And there's a picture of me somewhere from this thing. And I think it was wearing like a vest and a white shirt underneath that. I'm resurrecting that look, by the way, based on Diane Keaton. The vest, I ordered myself a couple of vests, and he's barking at the door that just closed because of the wind. So anyway, that was my outfit. I think some sort of vest, shirt underneath, long black velvet skirt, and then this black velvet hat, my grandma's. So I'm, filled with angst and pressure and everything going wrong, whatever, that morning, and I'm running late. So I get to this thing late, and they're already seated. And I'm texting my friend, like, I can't remember what was going wrong, but there was just one obstacle after another. And I'm like, but I'm still going to come. I promise I'm still going to come. And so I get there, and I'm like, things like halfway done, and I'm like all rattled and everything, but I get there and I sit down, and her daughter sits on my lap, and, I get to join in on this thing, but it wasn't as fun as I had hoped it would be because I was a mess, Suddenly I start getting this odor. Like, what am I smelling? And I'm like, is that coming off of me? And I'm like, I know what I was wearing. I have this white, I remember the shirt now, this white kind of ruffly shirt with some sort of a sweater, something over it, but this really cool, like tiered ruffle white shirt that was no sleeves. And then some sort of like a little shrug over that. That's what I was wearing because I remember the picture. So I'm like, what am I smelling? And I cannot, and I'm at this fancy high tea. I'm like, and I'm trying to be cool, because I've already embarrassed myself being late. And I'm like, where is this smell coming from? Like, did somebody pee their pants? Like, what, at this fancy place. And yeah, Beasley, he's barking at the falling leaves. So I never figure out what it is, but my friend says, are you okay? You keep sniffing yourself. I think I'm doing it discreetly, but clearly not. And so she's like, you keep sniffing yourself. She said, even the waitress noticed. So me trying to be like, drive attention away from me because I'm like, I smell, I'm late for this. I'm drawing it to myself because I keep sniffing because it's such a strong. And I said, don't you smell this? And she's like, not really, and she goes, but you keep sniffing yourself. I think later she texted me and said, even the waitress said something. Like, I'm trying to be cool, but I'm not. So I get through this thing. I'm like, what the hell was that smell? Like, is it in the seat I'm sitting in or what? This thing's over. Like, I'm there maybe an hour or something like that. This is a short story, but this thing is over. I'm hot now. It's Arizona. I'm whipping off this velvet hat, and I get this strong whiff. That hat was soaked in cat pee. I had cats. I always had cats when I was living out there alone, and I had at that point maybe 2 cats. I had like 2 to 3 cats usually, and I was a crazy cat lady, and things would fall off, a shelf or whatever like that in the closet. And if there was anything near the laundry basket, it was fair game. You drop that. He's chewing on my albuterol thing. Drop it. Drop that. Drop it. He's distracted with that. Okay, good boy. And if anything dropped on the floor, especially near the laundry basket, it was fair game. Suddenly it became like and so I had to keep that closet closed had the laundry basket in it because, there were, cats. Sometimes they're just unpredictable. And at some point from the time I had worn that hat the time before to the time that I wore it now, which could have been a year, it had fallen on the floor at some point, gotten peed upon, and then I put it back up, never noticing. So I put that cat pee soaked hat on my head and wore it the whole way to this fancy high tea, sat through the whole thing till the end of it. And then I actually did start laughing. And I texted my friend saying, I've identified the source who was sitting there the whole time with that disgusting cat pee hat. I don't know how I cleaned it. Somehow I came home and cleaned it. I might have just put it in the washing machine. It was velvet. You could wash velvet. But oh my God. And yeah, it's an odor. And it had been there for a long time. So it was like super steeped in there, But like welcome to my world. Here I'm trying to be classy. I'm trying to show some sort of sophistication with this vintage hat. And homage to my grandma, with this cute outfit, everything like that. And in reality, some days you're just a freaking hot mess, right? And it's going to show up. And I just grabbed this hat because I was committed to this whole outfit and had no idea, like I was this walking litter box. So that's really that story. But isn't it funny how it sticks in people's brains? Because they were sitting there at their dining room table having dinner, reminiscing about like crazy things that we'd been through together. And that had happened to me because I always seemed to have some sort of a mishap of something happening. And that they were, this happened, 20 years ago probably. And they're still remembering about it to this day. I'm going to tell both stories because that one was really short, right? And we've been here just a few minutes. So I was tickled. I have to ask them now, what's the whirling dervish? I'm almost afraid to know that. I remember one time being with these guys and we went to a concert at the Orange County Fair and they have an Escalade and I was in the back seat and it was the three of us going to this Orange County Fair and staying at this hotel. And I was some sort of online dating at the time. Maybe love at AOL way back then. And I was talking to this guy. I was texting in the back seat with this guy who I'd never met, that was on one of those things and from one of those websites. And we were sort of setting up whether we were going to meet or whatever. And I got it. I got the albuterol thing. And from the drive from Phoenix across the desert to Orange County, I had as one of my friends said, you had a full-blown relationship with this guy because it was like a little soap opera. So I'm like reading them all the texts from the back seat and they're getting off on it, this whole little getting to know you, like first dates. And by the time we get there, I've already broken up with him. They said, we watched an entire relationship start to finish in the back seat of the car driving across the desert. It was so entertaining. Because here, I do remember that we're driving along and I'm texting back and forth and it's all flirty and interesting and everything like that. But then I think I revealed that I was with my two male friends. Well, they're a married couple. He's wants to go for the scrunchie. No, you have one over there. No, Ebenezer Scrooge. My hair is so unbelievably long and insane right now. I looked in the mirror yesterday. I said, I look just like Ebenezer Scrooge. You need to put a, sleeping cap on because it's just insane. I have not had a haircut in 6 months probably. I just keep, my hairdresser's down south and I just keep not making it for, my appointments keep having conflicts. So anyway, that's funny. They said, but the guy, I said something about I'm in the car with my friends and he starts getting all insecure with me about being with other guys in the car. I said, they're a couple, they're gay, they're not interested in me. And then he made some sort of homophobic comment and I said, we're done. Like, what a dumbass. I'm literally going on a weekend vacation trip with my friends and who are gay. And you're going to make that kind of a comment to me and think that that's going to fly. And then he just desperately was trying to, backpedal out of that stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, but it happened like literally as we're pulling in the parking lot for the hotel. And they're like, boy, that was so entertaining. That kept us our attention through the entire drive. Like hearing this whole romance that never happened that fizzled up. Oh, Jane, you're saying that would have been a great episode for The Crown with the cat pee hat. God. So that's just another funny memory with those guys. It just seemed to be there's always some sort of weird thing happening, So I'm going to tell you the other story. I may as well. Both of these stories are in my mind, and the other one is kind of contemporary to my project that I worked on yesterday. Thank you. It's me. So the other one has to do is another embarrassing moment story, but this one has redemption, has major redemption. But unlike the cat pee story that I just had to, drop my head in shame that I put everybody through that unknowingly. So I had at one point, this was also like 20, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, probably. I got this wild hair that I got into these Lush bath bombs, and you Canadians know what I'm talking about with Lush. And I just got, obsessed with these Lush bath bombs, and I would order them and everything. And then I started thinking, something crossed my path where you can make bath bombs. And I'm like, don't have to tell me twice. So I started researching what's involved in making bath bombs, which turned into a whole thing, which turned into a whole business. I had an Etsy store called Cream and Sugar Bath Confectionery, and my entire thing were bath bombs that were made to look like food. So I had anyway, this was right at the very, very, very beginning of this that I got into this whole thing. They looked like bonbons. I put them in like candy boxes. I made them look like cupcakes. I had, I made up a whole concept that I thought really could get discovered, but once again, I was just a one-man show, and it was too much work, and I was running my other business, and things fizzle out, and I turned it back into a hobby. But I made these cup of hot chocolates, and I made this like cocoa milk bath that you'd like be taking a bath in like hot chocolate, but it's all not edible. And it looked like a little teacup, and the handle was a candy cane, like the thing of the crook of a candy cane. And then I made this like what looked like whipped cream on top that was out of like, I don't remember what it was, but they had little sprinkles on it, and all this stuff was safe for the bath. He's just determined to pull that. No, Beasley, look at me. Look at me. Go find your toy. Go find your toy. He's just so restless. He really does need to walk. So at the very beginning of this, I saw that they were having this convention in town. It was called a Soapers Convention. This thing was fantastic. And I thought, I'm going to sign up for it. I knew nothing about it. I paid my entry fee, and they had a contest as part of this thing. This is the most humiliating moment. You need to sit. You need to sit. He desperately wants to go outside. I promise I will take him outside today. There he goes. And I'm like, I'll enter the contest. So, and it was like a swap and a contest. So you brought, I think they had to cut off like maybe 30 people. You brought 30 of your things. So you got 30 other things. And as a swap with this, it was a total optional thing for this convention. And it was at a really nice hotel in Scottsdale. And this thing was unbelievable. This was like one of the funnest things I ever did in the crafting world. And they had in addition to the swap, it was a contest, and there were prizes for this. So I'm like, I'm going to enter that. Well, I had this fantastic idea. And you might think so too. I was also kind of playing around with making soap. So my idea was I was going to make my bath bombs in the shape of marshmallows. I was going to make little thin soaps, like make a bar of soap and then slice it really thin to resemble graham crackers. And then one little thin soap that you might use like you would a hotel soap, like that size, like a chocolate bar, and make a s'mores out of bath bombs and little slivers of soap. It was such a great idea, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing, as usual. It was more of an idea, but then you got to have the execution and all of this, like ideas that I had, like how to scent these things. So it would scent like graham crackers. What do graham crackers smell like? How to make the soap where I can cut it really thin like that. I mean, hang on a second. You don't bite me. Sit. Look at me. Go find your toy. Go find your toy. He's the toddler who's doing this because I'm talking to you guys. Sit. Where's your toy? I know you want this. I'm just putting in the bra. So, yeah, now he's going to start digging there. Beasley love you. He wants to kiss. Okay, I love you too, but you got to go find a toy. Where's your bone? Where's your bone? Go find your bone. Okay. Got to give some love. So yeah, I had this idea of making these s'mores and then wrapping them. I don't know. And it was about, well, I didn't realize it was about the packaging, but I found these cheap ass bags at the dollar store to wrap these things in. So I set about making this. It was a pretty involved project. I had to make 30 of them, right? Well, the idea that I had for making the s'mores to look like marshmallows failed. So I kept trying. I was up. Hang on a second. Go find your toy. Biting me is not the answer. Okay? Hey, go find your toy. Where's your toy? I'm going to put you in the bedroom. You're going to be over there. Okay? Where's your toy? Where's your toy? I might have to open the door so he can go out on the deck. Thanks for being patient with me. He loves it when I rub his eyes. That must be like a mother thing, because whenever he's got like a little sleepy stuff on his eyes. Whenever I rub it, he's doing it right now. He just goes into like a bliss land. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So I set about making these things, and they're not quite turning out how I want. And the marshmallows are definitely failing. And I tried to make them in ice cube trays to make them resemble so they'd be square. I had my bath bomb recipe down at that point, and I had a marshmallow scent. I had a cocoa scent. I had all the things that I needed, but just the mechanics were not coming together. So I just made these. I made a bunch of these like squares of. And then my dad points out, well, marshmallows aren't really square, Kathy. They're round. Oh, God. Because I wanted them to be little cubes that would go in these things. He's just, come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here. There he is. We're going to let him be part of it. He really is needing Mama's attention. So it just wasn't coming together. And of course, I'm running my whole rest of my life at the same time. And it's just turning into a freaking hot mess. Yeah, soft edged cubes. And it's like, it was a great concept with just a miserable execution. And I finally was left with, and then I'm trying to slice these thin slivers of soap and they're all cracking all over the place. And then I just get these dollar store bags that I'm going to bag these things up in. And that's what I've got. And then I finally just sort of like, I was up like half the night before trying to still salvage this thing. And finally, all I ended up with were the freaking marshmallows, which sucked, but at least they were functional and they smelled like marshmallows. So I stick these pathetic, misshapen, and I've been trying all different kinds of ways to do it. Then I thought at one point that I could put them in a pan and then cut them in cubes. That didn't work. Trying all different types of molds. This was before like where all the silicone molds came out. It was just a mess. And so that's all I had. And I had signed up for this thing. So I had to bring something. So I just put like a bag of these marshmallow cubes in this dollar store bag, put the twisty on it, put 30 of those in the thing and call it a day. That's what I've got. Sorry. And I didn't say in advance what I was bringing. So it's not like anybody was expecting the s'mores. It's just, this is what I've got, this is what I've got to swap. I mean, it was just down to the wire and that's what I had. And hey, TSP. So I get there, nice hotel up in Scottsdale. He's calming down now. And I get up there. This thing was huge. It's in a ballroom. There's all these great big round tables. You go and take your seat and there's already a swag bag that's full of probably $100 worth of stuff. There's vendors there. I mean, this thing was huge. It was like a regional. People came from California. I mean, I had no idea it was going to be this kind of a thing. Get my face out of the sun. So I get there and I'm like, oh my God, I got these terrible things, in my bag for the swap. And I think I might have had some business cards. I don't remember what stage I was at developing my business. I was very early on, so I was probably just dipping my toe out there, and I ran into this thing and found this and signed up for it, thinking this would be a good thing for me to do as a beginner. So I get there, and they've got this separate ballroom next to the ballroom. They've got this separate thing set up where the swap is, and they have it all set up where people can like walk through it and view it and everything like that before everybody starts swapping and grabbing their thing. I think they would give you like a little basket and you could go through and add your 30 things, or you'd get 29, other than your own things. But while they were presenting, and I mean, they had major presenters there on crafting. And then it was so cool, you guys. They would many of the presenters were like a little mini workshop, and we would make something that we could take home with us. So, I mean, I made several things throughout that day. It was incredible. It's like a really good memory from my life. And I made friends there in the world. But I get there to the room to drop off. Where do I put my stuff for the swap? Picture this. So it's kind of like set up like a wedding buffet with, like I said, this is a very nice hotel in Scottsdale. So it's got these kind of winding tables that are like this. So you walk on this like curved table, then you walk around this other one that's sort of curved, and they're all set up with displays. Displays would be the word for people that are entering the contest for the swap. I literally only have a bag of dollar store bags with twist ties that came with the dollar store bags with crappy marshmallows that don't even really look like marshmallows in each bag. And that is my contribution. Let me give you one example of one of the things that I see. This woman has a whole area of it. She might even have a whole like separate round table to herself, where she's got a whole margarita theme going, where she's put down a themed tablecloth, a flower arrangement, several different tiered, like I said, like if you were going to a wedding, and like the tiered things, silver trays. On the trays are these individual, like the plastic champagne coupes that you get. And inside that champagne coupe, she has put a bar of her margarita soap that looks like, it's not, but it has some sort of sprinkles on it that looks like the soap itself is edged in salt. She's made a tiny little mini lime soap that's sitting on the edge of the margarita glass. I think she even had like a raffia bow at the bottom. So it had this whole Southwestern theme. And they're all sitting around as if you're being passed a tray of these margaritas. It's a whole freaking display of this. Picture there's that. I'm seeing this display after display after display. I don't even have a basket to put my piece of shit bags, dollar store bags in. I have nothing. I just have these hideous, pathetic, cheap piece of shit bags with crappy marshmallow things in them that have no, and of course she's got a cute little sign, that's all with a font and everything describing what her thing is. And it's margarita scented soap. And you get to like pick one of these little champagne flutes that's got the soap in it and the little lime on the side and everything like that. This is what I am up against. I mean, obviously I'm not up against anybody. Mine was definitely the most hideous, the least thought put into it. I had no idea that it was going to be on this level. None whatsoever. I was hoping nobody saw me. I just sort of like threw them on this table because I'm looking for like a space to put mine, because there's only like 30 people. So it's not like I can hide in a sea of like 200 people. So I was so trying not to watch people's reactions, because then at some point they said, okay, now I think they did at the lunch hour, they did the like, now you can go and retrieve your stuff for the swap, because they were judging during the morning. The judges were judging, and trust me, I deserve to be judged and not in contention for a prize whatsoever. I can't even tell you the levels. There were things that were wrapped in a loofah scrub thing. I mean, people were creating displays that you might see like in a fancy boutique for their items to showcase their skills and showcase their and putting so much creativity. I'm sure the one with the margarita thought, oh, she's coming to the Southwest, so she's going to do a Southwest theme, like putting so much thought into not only the item they made, but the packaging for the item and then the display for it. all of which I failed at. 100% failure at mine. And just being stupid, having no idea it was going to be at this level, So I'm just like dropping my little bags there, like, please. And then people at my table, at my big round table, I'm social, I'm talking to people, I'm wanting to like hear what they're from. And I'm not wanting anybody to ask me if I participated in the swap, because it would be a natural question. Like, what did you bring? Never in a million years am I going to say that I'm in that freaking swap or the contest. I mean, really? It's like people are probably thinking this is like, where's Candid Camera here when they're picking my crap up? And I mean, it was so clearly dollar store bags with like some sort of little like happy birthday like motif. I mean, idiots. And there was no uniformity in the marshmallows. I mean, I don't know that I even had I think I did have a business card that I might have put with it that I like slid back out. Like I did not want anybody to know that was from me. So Kathy's blobs. Yeah. I mean, the level of sophistication of these people that they put into this thing was so beyond. And there was one that was like a baby theme. And so everything was cute. Like you got a little washcloth that's tied up like a little mini elephant with their bath salts tucked in the middle of it with a whole display of that. And then they've got like on a little whatever you call that, their card sitting there where they're promoting their business. I mean, the level of humiliation, but still. So, I mean, at the lunch break, we had to go, and then like they gave you a basket and you went along and you picked up all your stuff. And I felt like, oh my God. I mean, this wasn't imposter syndrome. This was like imposter. Like I clearly I'm so out of my league. I'm not even in the league. I'm in a different league altogether. And I mean, it just was complete rookie move on my part. So I'm going through and I'm like not wanting to look at anybody's reaction when they come to mine. Like that is literally just this pile of crap amongst this like Tiffany's. And then you've got the dollar store there. That was what mine looked like. And I was so desperately not wanting to overhear somebody say something or whatever, So I got over that. Because the day was so fabulous. Like I said, there was like all these workshops, and then they had contests like look under your seat. And if you have that, and I kept winning stuff, I mean, I won like a gallon of some sort of product that I needed for, what I was making. I had so many supplies. And then they had tables where people were just sort of like reselling stuff. And then they had, of course, the vendors that were selling stuff. And I mean, it was huge. It took me like 3 trips to my car to bring this swag and the stuff that I won and the stuff that I got from the swap and the stuff that just kept, that I made. And I mean, it just kept to get to my car, to carry everything stuff to my car. I mean, it's an unforgettable day. I mean, it really was, but it motivated me. Okay. Your girl knows how to get back in a saddle. If you don't know anything from me by now, hopefully you figured that out. Your girl knows how to get back in the saddle again. So it came back around the next year. Was it a different hotel? And I'm like, oh, and now that's a year later. So now I'm into my bath bomb business. I have an identity with it. I know what I'm doing. I know what my limits are, and I know, what I'm going to do. So I go back the next year and I decide I'm going to bring it. I'm going to redeem myself. Plus these people deserve something decent from me, so I don't have this memory of this self-humiliation. So the next year, what I decided to do, here's a little side story that's sort of funny. In order to make bath bombs, you have to have a combination. What makes it fizz, you have to have a combination of 2 things, baking soda and citric acid. So everybody's always trying to source this citric acid. It's not like you can walk into most stores and buy like a pound of citric acid. Usually you could buy it like as a spice and it comes in a little tiny thing, but you need like equivalents of those. You need a lot of it. So, and then if you buy it online, it's heavy. So you got to pay shipping. So, it was like on online forums that I would get involved with, everybody's talking, where are you getting your citric acid? Well, somebody mentioned Middle Eastern grocery stores. So I used to go to this Middle Eastern grocery store all the time with this restaurant. So I kind of knew these people there. So I walked in there and I knew they had Middle Eastern grocery stores often have like rows and rows of spices. So I knew they have little packets of citric acid there because it's used in cooking and canning or whatever. Maybe some of you guys have used it in that. And so I went up to the, counter when I went there one time, and I said, and I had the little thing. I said, "Would you guys sell this to me in bulk, like this amount?" But like, and he goes, "How much do you need?" And and this is somebody from wherever, the Middle East somewhere, who's talking to me in a pretty, English as a second language type of situation, which plays into the story. And so and I said, "A pound or 2 pounds? Like I would use it, And he just is taken aback. He goes, "What are you making that you need that?" And I said, "Bath bombs." And he's like, and I'm speaking to somebody, wouldn't know a bath bomb and throwing it in the bathtub. This was right after 9/11. And I'm talking about making a bomb in a Middle Eastern grocery store. I mean, as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, and I saw the look on his face of horror. I said, "No, it's bubble bath. It's bubble bath." Like, I mean, another example of me tripping over myself. So then when I went back after that, they would laugh about that. I said, "I can't believe I just said that in your store." Like, it's bubble bath. I'm making this for the bathtub, like here I'm making a bomb. Anyway, so that was kind of a funny aside of that whole thing. And then they became my supplier for my citric acid. And so they would give me these great big bags of it. And it was so inexpensive through them because it got pricey with the shipping with that. So anyway, that's just another little aside of that. So to enter the contest the next time, I decided my theme was going to be bridal. And I hope you guys can see me all right. The sun is really hitting my face. And so, I brought it. I had at that time accumulated so many scents, and I had bought a ton of scents and essential oils at that other one the year before. And I just went through everything. I mean, I had probably 75 different little bottles of scents. And I went through all of them, like, what smells like a bridal bouquet? What smells like a bride? And I found this perfect floral scent. I can't remember the name of it, but it was in what I had. And you didn't need to use a whole lot of it. And so I also had a ton of stuff from like my first wedding left over, like just paraphernalia, like a padded white box that was all bridal done up. I mean, just had bridal stuff, at my house. I created, you guys, I got there early. I made these gorgeous round white bath bombs that I put glitter on the outside, bath glitter. So they were iridescent. They were so highly scented of this, like, I mean, to me, it just smelled like a bride, this scent. And I put them in tulle, you know what that is, like a bridal veil. And I got to throw this for him. And put a white ribbon around them. I had so many different ways to display them. I brought different tiers and levels for my display. And I don't remember what all that I brought, but I don't remember all the different things, but anything that I had my old bridal veil. I had all this bridal paraphernalia, and I set up this massive display. And I think I had pearls, like as part of the wrapping of this tulle around them. I incorporated pearls, little doves, and then on the and in the tulle with the thing, so I had the bath bomb, I had the tulle, but in there, I had these that I got at the dollar store, these little white candy doves that you could throw in a bathtub because they would just dissolve. So I actually embedded those, that's right, into the bath bomb. So it was white with these little like two doves embedded into it. They were very cute. And then I took the rest of those candies and I sprinkled them like confetti on my display table. I mean, I went full bore, and I made this incredible display that people, and they gave me, because I had so much stuff to go with it, that they gave me a whole round table and they put at the end of like that winding thing just for me, for my display. So when you walked up, there was this like massive bridal display with all these different things, white, everything white, lace. I brought a tablecloth, the whole 9 yards, because like I'm redeeming myself from those hideous marshmallows. And I won Best in Show. So last place to first place, I won Best in Show of that. But I totally, was like, I am not going to let these people identify me as that. And so that was really, really rewarding to do that. I mean, I had a feeling I might win something because I went like insanely over the top. And for a reason, because it's like these people deserve some decency from me. So yeah, I did win Best in Show. And then the next year, oh my God, I went even more insane the next year. I won Best Packaging the next year. I don't remember. I won like 2 prizes for my next year one. The next year, which was the last year they stopped doing this. In the last year, it was like at a very small like room in almost like a community center or something like that. It wasn't at a hotel. I mean, it had dialed way back. And then the organizers, there was something that happened where they just said, this isn't worth us to. It was really sad because I got to the last one. I went to 3 of them, and the last one they ever did, I went to. So the last one that I went to, this is what I made. I made my bath bombs, and I called them bath bonbons, and they were little squares and round things. I made them in candy molds. I decorated them I did them in different colors. They looked just like candies. They looked just like bonbons. And I would actually sell those in my store in like a box that had like the cellophane on the top, and you could they would be like, could be like party favors and stuff that would have like 4 of those in there. And they look just, there's an addendum to that of how they look like candy. And I made my own boxes from scratch. I fabricated my boxes to look like old-timey vintage candy boxes in the shape of a heart. I literally made the boxes, constructed the boxes themselves to be custom to fit however many of my bonbons I wanted to put in there. I put the little paper things, what are those called that you put around a cupcake, those little fluted things, but for candy. I put those in those boxes so it looked like, and then I decorated the top of each box with fabrics and ribbons and flowers and pearls and so much stuff. So each box was different, and this took me weeks and weeks and weeks to make. So they not only got their bath bombs, but they got this handcrafted, vintage looking candy box, old-timey candy box to go with it. That was a fun project too, but it was pretty exhausting because crafting making all those boxes was a lot. And I kind of made up my own design and everything like that. So that was another fun one. And that kind of translated over into my shop. But here's a funny thing. So there was this famous author whose name is Lori Nataro. Maybe some of you guys know her. She was coming through town, and she was a BFF of one of my BFFs. And she was doing a book signing. And I got invited to like meet her before the book signing, like let's have a dinner next door. So I went to this thing, and I brought her a little thing of my bath bonbons as like a, little gift, to this dinner. Well, apparently she was staying with her mom because she was from Phoenix, and she brought him home, and she left him there with her mom, this little thing. And I mean, it was wrapped up with a bow, and it looks like a box of candy. And she left him there at her mom's house. And apparently her mom calls her up saying, "What the hell is this candy you left her?" She tried to eat one of them. She thought it was candy. That ended up in a book of that story. My name, Kathy Monkman, is in one of her stories published in her book about her mom eating my bath bonbons thinking it was candy. I have that book somewhere. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, I tried to make my stuff look as close. That's why I called it Cream and Sugar. The name of my business was Cream and Sugar, a Bath Confectionery. And everything looked like, sweets. So yeah, it was mock candy bath bombs. Yes, someone did eat one. So the reason I got to thinking about this is, I don't know if you guys saw the short that I made yesterday, but yesterday I asked someone who, a while back, this last week, I asked someone, I don't want to say who because I don't want to give it away, but somebody that I know through the true crime community, they do this, like, talk about like how I did my over the top thing with my bridal thing. They do that for their house every year for Christmas. And if you know, don't say it because I just don't want it to get out yet, but I will. I haven't been invited to this Christmas party, but it would require travel, and I haven't gone. But I wanted to contribute to it because, like, I need a project, and I know that she always has a theme, like a major theme. When I say decorate their house, I'm talking like it looks like a freaking department store decorations, professional. Like there might be like 5 life-size Santas. There might be a full-blown sleigh that you would see in the middle of a mall that's on their dining room table. I mean, it's an insane over the top amount of decorating that takes them weeks and weeks and weeks. And they, I heard all about it, how they store everything away. I mean, it's always based on a theme, like it might be a Nutcracker theme or whatever, white winter Wonderland theme or whatever. So I wrote to the husband, I said, what's the theme this year? I'm cooking up an idea and I don't want her to know that I'm going to make her a little something to go with her theme. And he wrote me back and he said, it's winter wedding, because they have a wedding coming up in their family that month. And so he's like, the whole theme is winter wedding. And I said, well, can you get me the colors of the wedding? And so got that back to me. So I have that, the colors and the theme. So I went to work yesterday. I'm going to show you. Yeah, you know who. Yeah, I mean, I figured you would know. And I really like her. She's the creative force behind this, but she has no idea this is coming. I'm going to put it in the mail tomorrow. But hang on a second. I'm going to go show you what I made yesterday, because I'm just going to send it to her, because I thought, oh, this is a perfect person, because I have all these materials. And I really do now. My crafting stuff is gifts, and I like to do it like this, like drive-by gifting where people don't know that it's coming. I've given them for wedding gifts and, different things, personalized things for people. But this was just a really good project. It's what I needed and wanted to direct my focus to this. And because this wedding theme, from the other thing I told you, I do have some wedding-oriented supplies. So hang on a second. Scooch over, Beasley. I've got myself so wedged here, and this computer is sitting on a tray table. One of those TV tables. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm going to show you. Maybe some of you saw it, but not everybody. Okay, you've gotten to a Kleenex. I see that. Your favorite thing. Turn up a Kleenex. Oh, there you go. Stay off my butt. Oh my God, no, you don't want to eat that. Okay. Here's one I made yesterday. Beasley. Oh God, let me see if I can show you. Oh, this is like, this is what I made. So look at, and I even put a veil on this tree. But look, I don't know if you could see, there's little rings, wedding rings on it. And these are the color scheme of the wedding. Sorry. Trying to do all this with a dog nipping at me. But yeah, I thought I want to try to put a veil. And I happen to have this netting. I don't know if you could tell that it's iridescent, but you could still see the tree through it. I did that. Okay, he's interested. Sit. But yeah, and this is furry. So it's got like the Winter Wonderland thing. And there's roses. This is like the color, this green right here. It's kind of hard to find something in this green, and white are the colors. This is burlap underneath that. And I'm thinking of taking more of this. I might play around with it and make a skirt, but and these are pearls. That's pearls. So it has, wedding theme things. Let me see if you can, right there, you can see it. There's little wedding rings all over it. This is a gold ring at here that's attaching the veil, like a veil on a Christmas tree. So I'm going to have it wrapped up and sent to her tomorrow. That she'll find a place to tuck it. Trust me, this thing right here is a mini. I mean, it's a mini compared to the stuff that she's going to have her house decorated with. But I'm sure I'm sure she'll find a way. It's funny that you say white snowflakes. It's made out of pearls. These are all pearls. Let me see if you can see that. I think it's little flowers, but I guess it could be snowflakes, but that's a pearl garland. I just happen to have that. All the stuff I had, and this is a flocked tree. You can see the flocking, but I added a bunch of other evergreen stems that I had to just fluff it up and make it more fluffy. So it has balls. You can see, let me show you this one. Beasley, sit. Look at me, sit. I will play with you. But not at this second. Sit. 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 He just looks at me like, talking to me? Talking to me? You can go outside. The door's open. We have this deck where you can go outside. Let me see. I want to show you this one. I got to clean it up, though. All the glue strings are... Where are these one really pretty? Okay, there's one there. Really pretty balls. See that one there? I found those I had in my stuff. You know, I just collect stuff. I collect it when it's on sale, and that's what I do. So, yeah, so thinking of the bridal theme, sit. This puppy is, I got to get this out of the way because he's going to try to destroy it. Come on. He's like, I don't care that you're talking to other people. I need to be the most important one. I know. Here, outside. Here, come on, boy. There's a leaves out there you can play it. Here, okay, you go on the porch. Come on. You want to go outside? Come here. Where's your bone? Where's your bone? Where's your bone? Why don't we have a bone, huh? Here. You like that? Go get it. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. I found him a bone, but nothing is as interesting as me at the moment. Beasley. Hey, look at me. Sit. Where's your bone? Go get your bone. Go get your bone. Watch this. I want to watch. I want to show you something. Come here, boy. Where's Daddy? As soon as I say that, where's Daddy? He like, John is the disciplinarian. And he knows he's not going to get away with any of this stuff around him. The sun on the gold bulb. Oh, Jamie, oh, thank you so much for saying that, because what also came with that tree when I took it out of the box, see, I had ordered this stuff a couple years ago. I have not been doing this stuff for a while, was a little string of lights, battery operated lights. So I'm going to send that along with it. I don't think I'll string it. Oh, maybe I will string it on. You don't bite me. Now that hurt. No. You do not bite me. Where's your bone? I gave you a bone. He's really into the nipping right now. Here, let me rub your belly. Maybe that'll help. So anyway, let me see what you guys are saying. So I ended up telling you both my stories today. Wading through the world of Mr. Beasley. I'm surprised he's not barking. Thank you, Mary. Nice to see you. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hi, SC girl. I'm glad you found me again, too. I've been out here. Okay, there it is. I've been out here for a while, but keeping kind of a low profile. Well, Mary, you might have missed my top. Hang on, let me get rid of this comment so you can see it. Hang on. Apparently, I have an attitude. I saw that and I'm like, yeah, I need that. Women with attitudes, make the world go round. No relation to Tig Notaro, who I just saw TSP on the morning show. Tig Notaro was on the morning show, is a character on the morning show. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. This is getting sunlight's getting a little intense. Let me see if I can block it a little bit. Babies had dogs who are always, see, I've got a sunspot in my eyes. I can't see. I can't read. Yeah, and I had long phone calls nipping at my feet. Yeah, definitely he is that way. When I'm engaged with other things is when he wants, see, he wants to be outside too. So now I just let him outside on the deck. Thank you, Mary. I enjoy that. Never before or after, I promise you. I'm not sure what that's related to. Let me see what other comments I might have missed here. Anne Marie, okay. I've been collecting these materials literally for years, so it could be coming from anywhere. I was doing some project where I wanted to have like a heavy fruit theme. I don't know if it was a tree or a centerpiece or whatever. And so I collected a lot of, I have a whole craft closet. When we came and looked at this house, you guys, we go upstairs. There's this loft area upstairs. I don't know if you can see it. Let me tilt that back. Right up there. That's my studio. Guess what? The previous owner who built this house, she had a studio there because she's a quilter. And I mean, I have bins and bins and bins of craft supplies. I mean, as you can see, I've done bath bombs, I've done soaps, I've done so many different things, you know, that I just try to do. But these trees have been a constant. I make wreaths, garlands, trees, stuff like that. So I gather stuff when it's on sale. So like I went in and I got a ton of stuff the other day at Michael's. It was 60% off. One of the things I'm going to do with my Christmas stuff this year is kind of go with real muted color scheme, but still make it Christmassy. So like have, like, if you know what a Coco Loco rose is, it's like a mauve-y tan kind of rose. I got, and those are in the fall color. So all the fall stuff was 60% off, but I'm going to use it in Christmas because I'm going to use that as kind of the backdrop for my colors. So anyway, at Michael's, I get a lot of stuff from. Sometimes I order things online, but I'm always looking for big sales. And then I stock up. So I have a whole closet. I mean, I look there like, because we're walking around, we were viewing this house and like, are you kidding me? And I mean, I have a view of this lake from my studio. I have a huge closet for my stuff. You know, I have ample plugs everywhere to plug in stuff, glue guns and whatever that I need. I mean, it's incredible, the setup. And so I have, you know, shelves and shelves and shelves with all these bins organized. So I got fruit in one and, you know, arranged by color. And I didn't even really know what I had back there. So when I started digging, I have a lot of trees and I have a lot of little tiny mini trees. So I'm going to work on those today and, you know, getting them ready to send for Christmas gifts. So hi, True Crime Country. My daughter needs my attention. I'm on pause and will finish momentarily. Thank you, Kathy, for your hilarious stories. It's a special treat. You made my day. Well, it made my day that you got in here, Nurturing. Nice to see you. Have a great day. So anyway, that's really what I wanted to share today. I'm just feeling better to feel better. I was telling John, I am so sick of eating bland food. You know, I've been eating broth and my soup for 2 weeks now. Like, I need something flavorful and like I need a cheeseburger. So he's going to go get us that today at a place that I have never eaten at before. Nice to see you, True Crime Country. Ooh, TSP. I've been playing around with Harvey's statement. It's essentially a shut up video. So great call. Oh my God. So you're going to do a video on Harvey's statement. Oh my God. You got to let me know. Maybe we'll have a debut of it here if you'd like. I mean, or on your channel or whatever, but I'm happy to debut it. So what are you guys up to today? I'm also like that same theme of like you saw on that tree. I wanted to make them a matching little white pumpkin for her. And then I realized I used all my supplies. I used all my rings. I used everything on the tree. Like I didn't set anything aside. So if I have anything that might sort of go with it, I might make her a little white pumpkin to go with it so she could like start off her holiday season at Thanksgiving with a pumpkin. I picked up 6 of them when I was out the other day. And so I'm going to send a couple to my cousin and whatnot. So I'm going to do that. Work on those today and give one to my neighbor. And I already gave them one though. I might give to some other neighbors around here, but I'm mostly close to the neighbors on that side. So see what you guys are saying. I'm still trying to digest Harvey's statement, let alone his tone of voice. A biased judge. Yeah, that's very ballsy when that judge is getting ready to rule about the entire rest of your wife's life. I don't know. So many people have said that they thought those statements were crafted for the Markel boys. And I may be completely off base here. I don't think they care as much about the Markel boys as they lead on. I really don't. I don't think they're that important to these people as they want us to think they are. I think it was self-serving. I think it was a way to vent their rage. And I think it was more leaning toward, well, we're going to get Donna's life without parole overturned. So I don't know. I just think it was them being them. I don't know. I could be completely off base, but that was my take. Thank you, Jane. Thanks for joining us here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, too. I still haven't heard a lawyer who said they've witnessed anything close to Donna's sentencing. Wow, that's interesting, TSB. I certainly haven't seen anything like that. Total, or any person, right? Or any yeah, I mean, a lot of us have watched a lot of trials, and that was so beyond anything. I mean, it probably will go down in the true crime. What's the word I'm thinking of? There's a word I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of, but memory books, along with that killer of Polly Klaas that flipped off the family or did some obscene gesture toward the family in the courtroom. It's at that level. It is at that level. Like that's where they're joining. It's not like they have dipped down to that level. They have always been at that level. They're just revealing that where they live, the gutter that they live in. So I think they acted with the same arrogant stupidity they did to commit this crime. Yeah, and then that's been in them the whole time. That's how they've been surviving all these years. I mean, they're not being eaten alive by this, what they did. They're happily living their lives. I mean, we heard that on the hot mic call, Donna saying, I've had a good life. There's no guilt, there's no remorse, there's no being haunted by it. The only haunting she feels like is external. It's not inside herself. She's not haunted by the fact that she killed her grandchildren's father. She's haunted by someone else is haunting her. Her victim is haunting her. You know what I mean? I can't disagree that it's a huge question, the attitude towards the boys leaning hard in that direction. I don't think, same with Wendy. I just keep going back to one truth. They killed the father of these boys. That's all I need to know about the level that they are capable of caring about them based on their behavior. No matter what they say, no matter how many piano lessons and tennis lessons and tucking in at night and walking to school and packing lunches and all that kind of stuff, they killed their father deliberately, who even they admit was nothing but an excellent father to them. That defines their caring about them. That, you're just having lost my mother at age 5 and knowing the impact that has on the whole rest of your life and the way that they diminish that, the way that they didn't minimize it. They completely erased the impact of that. That's all I ever need to know about their ability to care about those boys. And it's nothing. It's nothing. Nothing trumps that. Nothing comes close to that. And, I do believe at some point those boys are going to wake up and realize that. I believe that. I mean, how can they not? Wow, poly class happened 20 miles from you. Yeah, Petaluma. Annals. That's the word I was looking for. Annals. Who just said that? Annals of courtroom antics. Yep, that's what I was looking for. I think the boys already know what's really up. Do you, TSP? What gives you that? It's just a hunch. I mean, I just keep thinking that they're going to grow up, individuate, meet other people, fall in love, be integrated into other families, and there's going to be other influences that have no ties to any of this that are going to gently wake them up. I mean, I can't imagine that they're in this world that they're going to find people to bond with that are going to be aligned with this delusional false reality. And, people can wake up. They're teens, they're smart, and they're likely on social media. Yeah. And they're going to have questions. I mean, I keep going back to them. They're going to have questions about their dad that have never been answered. And they're going to know who can answer them, which are the Markells and Dan's friends. And like Tamara Demko, I want to think more and talk more about Tamara Demko's statement on STS, which was mind-blowing. Her level of fear that she got off, particularly Harvey, wow. That was really, really something. But I mean, she's a very gentle person. I've met her, very soft-spoken, she's a beautiful human. And it's interesting that she was such good friend. She was like one of Dan's very best friends, and that she was so close to him because they were personality-wise seemed so different, and but also opposites attract in kind of a way. But it's just so interesting that the Markells nailed her as an enemy. And I don't know if you guys watched that STS thing. It was pretty remarkable. And because they were picking up on her, picking up on them. And that can happen. People can read that you're reading them. And suddenly, Donna called up Robert Adelson and said, she's being mean to him. I cannot imagine Tamara Demko being mean to anybody. Well, she was just scrutinizing them. She was probably looking at them in a way of yikes, because that's how she was feeling. And they were picking up on that. They were reading anybody that was might be picking up on it. And it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. I'm in Windsor now. Santa Rosa was wonderful in the 70s when it's a small town. The boys will become adults, will meet random folks who might not realize who they are, and the case may be mentioned in front of the boys. I pray for them to have strong hearts. Yeah, right. Tamara is so smart, thoughtful, and careful with her words. Boy, you're not kidding. Careful with her words. I feel so bad for Tamara. She talked to a priest for 3 hours and bought a gun that day, then lived in fear for years. And this had, a huge impact on her, far more than any of us knew. Yeah, wow. She definitely, she was in the presence of that level of evil up close and personal and felt it. I mean, clearly she is an empath and completely read these people, and they could feel her reading them, which is really interesting. Except not necessary. Brainwashing goes a long way. As the one who's been cast out of my family, people kept saying to me they will, meaning the ones that have been brainwashed, especially children. Yeah, I mean, it depends also how much Wendy stays in their life. I guess she's using a different name now. Oh, and never have it. 17 years, Potter. Wow. That is a long time. Sorry about that. Yeah, Jill Estrada is the name she's going by now. I mean, I just keep thinking I need to connect with my SAA, but I keep thinking she could probably disappear in Argentina with that name, right? Trying to run from the sun. I might have to move this computer. The sun is in my eyes. Can't you go behind the clouds for a bit? You know what I could do is just turn this. Hang on. Just to get this lumber out of my face. Get a little bit. Mr. Mister's over there on the deck. So he's being entertained by the swirling leaves out there and God knows what critters, birds or whatever. The Birds was partly filmed nearby in Bodega Bay. The Birds, we watched that kind of recently and never realized before, it's funny when you watch something over again. Tippi Hedren in that boat rowing back and forth across that bay in her perfect little suit, her crossed legs, her helmet hair that's so sprayed, not one hair is being in rowing. John will do that occasionally. My husband, I'm telling you guys, is so friggin' funny. He'll do this and he'll sit just like her, perfectly upright. He'll cross his legs like that. He'll say, I'm doing my Tippi Hedren and the Birds. And then he pretend like he's rowing. But like, did you catch that in that movie? Like, who's in a rowboat sitting like that? Like with the perfect little posture, and there's not one drop of water splashing anywhere. It's just funny when you look at it. It's me. It's a deeply disturbing realization. Some folks live without connecting with others. Such an empty life experience. Love is all that has value in the end. You're right. It's me. That's a really good comment. Yeah. Yeah. And that, yeah. Yeah, that's rough. Anyway, I wasn't anticipating talking too much Adelson stuff in here, so I did want to just shift the energy off the prior topic. So that's why I want to tell the funny stories. It's a good Sunday morning. Good Sunday morning to you too, Jennifer. Hitchcock loved shooting rear projection scenes. They never look quite right. Is that what that was, TSP? A rear projection scene of Tippi in that boat with the perfect, just the way she sits there. I wish you could see my husband doing that because he just gets that whole perfect posture and he like twists his body and he puts his legs like that. It's just very funny when he does. I don't know. Occasionally he just does that in context to something else. I don't know what context that would be. But, you know, he's a funny, funny guy. Well, hi, Hollylocks. Yes, I'm going to move this to see. It doesn't matter where I'm going. I'm going to move this, you guys. The sun is like making me nuts. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I got to just take a peek and see where Doggy Dog is. I'm sure he's just sitting outside basking in the sun. We're lucky to have this kind of wraparound deck that acts like a big doggy playpen because he cannot go very far. I mean, he can't go at all. He can't get off it. So he can be outside in the sun and enjoy that. I'm coming over here. All right. I got to get a little more reasonable situation. All right. Here we go. I'm so excited about eating a cheeseburger today. I can tell you. Like, I need that flavor. I need a flavor of something that's not just Blandy McBlanderson. Although I'm glad I did have those meals. Oh, he'll be back, Jennifer. He's been all over me this morning. He's outside, I think, right now on the deck, roaming around, sitting in the sun. I lived in the Santa Cruz Capitola border for a while. Speaking of the birds, have you seen the scenes of the kids without the backgrounds, but with prop birds? Scenes of the, oh. No, I haven't seen those. I'll have to look that up. So we're going to go do, probably later today, a bit of a Diane Keaton tribute film festival. We've got Something's Got to Give. Annie Hall, and something else. So, yeah, Diane Keaton. Yeah, send me, Potter, if you do find those. I've seen those Birds production shots. So interesting to see how he brought it all to life. Yeah, back then, too. I mean, now it would be so much. It's a totally different world, right, TSP? You watched Annie Hall last night? How was that? I haven't seen that in really decades, probably. Does it stand the test of time? I imagine it's such a classic. A friend of mine for many years once went to a life coach and asked me about a question he had asked. Next time you felt connected and had a great time with friends, she could not answer. Wow. Well, I mean, then that was a good awareness, wasn't it? You know, of a hole in her life that needs to be filled. Sometimes it's easy to avoid those blind spots. Yeah, me too. It was very sad. I mean, I'm still in kind of denial about it. I just absolutely love her movies. Yeah, I am too. So I ordered myself, I don't know how it happened. I was on this website. I saw these, they were having a sale on these, like picture a cardigan without the sleeves. So it's a vest. And I'm like, I haven't worn it. I've really been wanting to wear like vests again in the winter. And so but in honor of of Diane Keaton, because I was looking at a lot of pictures of her and like her style was so unique. And she wore a lot of kind of menswear and stuff. And so I thought, I'm going to get those. I ordered them. For some reason, the website charged me and gave me 2 of each. So I'm going to end up with 4 of these. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's either here or there. It just was like odd thing. But I'm waiting for them to come in. So I'm going to put together some outfits that are those vests, pants. I have some pants that I can use, and like a collared shirt underneath and a tie. So I'm going to find a way to where I might wear that at Thanksgiving. I don't know. I just, I want to, honor her in some way. And I thought I'm just going to create some outfits that are inspired by her and try that on for size. And now that I don't have a cat, there will not be any cat pee on any of my cute outfits. I did watch Marvin's Room, but so long ago. That's another good one. Do you remember those years when we dressed? I just said that. It was the most, right? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to resurrect that look again. She also wore a lot of hats. She was also into hats. But yeah, I'm going to put together a whole outfit. I might wear it on Thanksgiving. We decided this year for Thanksgiving that we're going out to a little inn, like a country inn. I don't know if any of you remember that we took my brother for his birthday and had him completely outfitted for a suit. But we haven't had a place to take him to wear that suit yet. But he has his suit. So we're all going to go out for Thanksgiving dinner. Me, my brother, Lillian, and John. We're going to dress up, avoid cooking, cleaning, all of that stuff. Dress up, go to this little cool country inn near us that's doing Thanksgiving dinner. And he's going to wear his suit. My brother's going to wear his suit. And John's going to wear his suit. And Lillian and I will dress up. And we're going to go do Thanksgiving dinner that way. But I might do my little Annie Hall and, Diane Keaton outfit for Thanksgiving. David Letterman has been sharing Diane Keaton's visit to his show over the years. She's the best, so funny and quirky. I know, I love the way she talks and just has a childlike spirit about her. Stunning style. Yeah, The Straight Story is a movie that I watched lately, and I have never heard of that movie, True Crime Country. Is that a Diane Keaton movie, or is it just a movie that came to your mind? As you can tell, I'm a big movie person, so I'm always looking for movie recommendations. Watching videos of Keaton's different homes. Wow, what is a beautiful mid-century that survived a wildfire? Is that on YouTube, TSP? That's really cool. I've been watching some videos of the style of What's Something's Got to Give. What's that director? Not Nancy. What's her name? Nancy what? But like how these designers created her style and how they did it for It's Complicated, that kitchen that she had. I'm like, why are you remodeling that kitchen? That kitchen's so fabulous in that movie. I loved her character. No, that was Meryl Streep in that movie. But it seemed like Diane Keaton could have been in that movie too. with Alec Baldwin, but it was that same style of decor, but it's complicated. That beach house is amazing. And I'm always noticing that style too. So I've been watching some. Here he comes. There he is. He's back inside. Hard to believe that movie is from Disney and directed by David Lynch. That sounds crazy. As you know, David Lynch is like a name. My husband loves David Lynch and not a fan, mainly because I don't get it. I don't get his stuff at all. I'm just too dumb for David Lynch. I should have that on a t-shirt. Too dumb for David Lynch. You should watch Straight Story. So great. Richard Farnsworth plays a guy who drives a long way on his lawnmower to see his ailing brother. Oh, wow. I love Richard Farnsworth. And that's the one. It's a day. Well, I'll tell you what, my husband would love to watch it. Major David Lynch fan. She once lived in a gorgeous Frank Lloyd Wright house. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, True Crime Country. You make me feel a little less lame. I can't watch David Lynch's other movies for some reason. I can't watch them clearly because it's too frustrating. I don't know what's going on. So it's too much work and I'm just frustrated through the whole thing, like Mulholland Drive. I don't have a brain that processes it. I might as well be watching a movie in Japanese with no subtitles where I'm with like low lighting. So I can't even see the pictures. I mean, I am so lost that and my husband's like so compelled by it. It's like there's something that just does not translate into my brain. And I just am left with this level of frustration where I hate this. I mean, like my husband would have a shrine to David Lynch in this house if he could. I mean, it's just so. When Lillian was really little, because John would talk about David Lynch and like, oh, I got to introduce Lillian to David Lynch. I said, you are not doing that. That's child abuse. So Lillian is a really little girl, like 4 years old. She would say, "Daddy, no David Lynch." You should have that on a t-shirt too. Because she used to be this little tiny girl saying, "Daddy, no David Lynch." Oh my God. Like, oh, Blue Velvet. I can't on that. I watched that and I was so rattled and disturbed and I didn't even know why because I had no idea what the movie was about. By the end of it, I was like, I have no idea what I just watched, but I completely disrupted my mental health. I don't get it, and it's disturbing. Diane Keaton directed some episodes of Twin Peaks. That's interesting. The him for misogyny in Blue Velvet shocked me to my core as a young adult. Oh. I don't even remember. I've blocked it. Eraserhead was required viewing when I went to film school. Even my husband says Eraserhead is a difficult watch. He goes, I would never subject you to that. I was also hesitant before watching it, but it's a really lovely, calming movie. Is that the Straight Story you're talking about? I'll look that up. I mean, we also tried watching it's the one with Laura Dern, and I just said, I can't. I'm just too lost. I can't. I don't know what is. Don't get me started on Wes Anderson. See, I'm a real film person. I'm a foodie who doesn't like caviar or oysters. I'm a real film person that doesn't like David Lynch or Wes Anderson. So go figure. Like the high tastes of these categories are like lost on me. Like I have a ceiling that I hit and I can't go into those upper echelons of it where these lofty places where other people live. I know my place. I'm a Midwestern girl. That's as far as I can go. And I know everybody loves Wes Anderson. I have the same like agitation. Like you fucking with me, man. I don't know. It just is what it is. I avoid any news programs as they are now like David Lynch movies. That's funny. Oh, wow. Hi, All About Well. Dan Keaton was super cute in Baby Boom. I forgot about that one. Twin Towers can be seen in that film. Isn't that wistful when you see that in the background? Like that definitely dates things and like, wow. We all have our own taste, which is a great thing. That's true. I know what it is though. I don't I don't enjoy I do like watching things that you have to like try to guess and try to figure out what's going on. I like stories like that that aren't just completely like pablum fed to you. That's not it. This is operating at another level that my brain can't process. So I just feel insulted. But really, it's like I'm just feel dumb. Really, that's what it is. And unsophisticated and like I'm just out of my league and I just can't get there. That's it. First Wives Club was good. Has anybody watched anything recently? I told you guys we went to the mystery movie and it was Roof Man, and I thought that was pretty good. Channing Tatum is a pretty good actor when he has a good role, I like him. And that movie I would say was good. I love a movie that's based on a true story, which this one is, and I think it's pretty accurate and it's pretty wild. That he's living in this Walmart and getting away with it for like a long time, and how he gets away with it, and like he was a real guy that this happened to. So has anybody seen Roofman? I enjoyed it. I bought tickets not for tomorrow because that they call it either Scream Unseen, which means it's going to be horror, or Screen Unseen, which means it's going to be just any kind of regular movie. Okay, Jennifer. I binged The Girlfriend on Prime too when I was sick. What a wild roller coaster that was. So British, wasn't it? But oh my God, that was insane. And that was also had a lot of food for thought too, like how that guy was very Oedipal in a way, how he was so trapped between these two sort of equally dysfunctional women. But how about the fact that his parents both were American, I think, definitely. They didn't give her an accent. And they never addressed that, why he has a full British accent and his parents don't. I mean, I just thought that was kind of funny thing of it, but yeah. I'd like to watch Reds again too. Yeah, that's another good one. I was surprised but really enjoyed Palms. So silly but lots of fun. I have no idea what Palms is. What's Palms? Yeah, Wings of Desire is up there in the category of our home where my husband digs it and I'm lost. We tried watching that one too. I fell asleep in what is the classic movie? Orson Welles. What is it? TSP. Like the most classic Orson Welles movie. We saw it. Oh, they're playing that at the film festival. One of the first film festivals that we went to together. And they were, doing a reshowing of that. Let's go see it. What the hell is it? Again, Citizen Kane. Like, oh, I haven't seen it. Let's go see it. Lost in Citizen Kane. To the point where John looks over at me. We're like in the second row. He's like, you were sound asleep and your teeth were showing. So that started to this day. It's like over 10 years now. We call it the tooth thing. Like we'll just send each other pictures where we're going, it was born out of that, where he looks over and I'm sound asleep. And I see with my teeth like that. Citizen Kane. Like I just couldn't get it. I just don't get it. So yeah. Bruno Ganz. I love him, and he and Richard Dreyfuss. My all-time crushes. My name is related to Richard Dreyfuss. Oh, interesting. It's interesting, Potter. Palms was a Diane Keaton movie just a few years ago. A woman in a senior living community. She played a terminally ill woman who started a cheer squad. That completely missed my radar. I haven't even heard of that one. I'll look it up. See, you and John, you'll meet someday. Well, maybe we'll meet at a film festival someday. You guys totally are on the same wavelength, TSP. You guys could talk film. Did I tell you John's like deep into making a short film right now? And he has this whole new program and stuff like that. I mean, you guys would, I'd just have to go have a cup of coffee across the street. But, you guys have the same brain function. Coen brothers made a lot of my very favorite movies. Blood Simple, Raising Arizona, Fargo, No Country. I want to watch No Country for Old Men again. I did enjoy that. I'm like a little bit on the edge with Coen brothers, but we tried watching that one, Honey Don't. Did you watch that one? I mean, we're huge Aubrey Plaza fans. So anything Aubrey Plaza's in, we're going to watch. But we did shut it off because it was like kind of absurd. But did you watch that one? Because it's made by somebody Coen. And I thought, is that one of the Coen brothers? Just a Coen brother? Or is it like their kid? I don't, do you know anything about that movie? Big Lebowski. John loves that too. I think Donna's show was for the boys, thinking they would see it someday and feel sorry for her. That family's over the top entitled. Yeah, a lot of people think that, Twyla, and that could be right. You could talk about your favorite movies for hours and hours and hours, because you guys are absolutely on the same wavelength about what you like. Totally. I think my husband has every line in Raising Arizona memorized. I can't count how many times we've watched it. Yeah, Raising Arizona is another one. Oh, what is he seeing now? What you barking at now? Usually it's just falling leaves. Yeah, Aubrey Plaza. We rewatched one of John's favorite all-time movies is Ingrid Goes West. You seen Ingrid Goes West? And we watched that last week. Ethan Coen. So who is Ethan? Is he one of the Coen brothers? Did you watch it, TSP? Hi, Kevin Hornbuckle. Haven't seen you in a while. Donna was directing and starring in her own movie, wasn't she? Wrote it, directed, styled it, everything. Have you seen Aubrey and Emily the Criminal? Loved it. Absolutely. Yes. Seen it more than once. I thought that was really good too. Also White Lotus. She was really good in that. Like I said, if you haven't seen Ingrid Goes West, so Unhinged, she's really good in that. Yeah, you hear the baby. That's the Snoopy. I call that the Snoopy, and he lifts his head up. I don't know what he's barking at. There's the Snoopy. Like to take showers every morning. I don't like the panties drying on the rod. What's that from? Is that from Raising Arizona? Joel Coen is married to Frances McDormand, another superstar. See, he's doing Snoopy. Ethan is the other one. Okay, he is one of the Coen brothers. That's what I wondered. My pup just got all excited listening to Mr. Beasley. Isn't that funny how they recognize each other? Yeah, he'll start barking if he hears a dog barking on the TV. For a little guy, he packs a big bark, which is good because keep the burglars away. That's cute. You're not the only one. Yeah, I love his little Snoopy bark. He started that a few months ago. He did it again. He's back outside again. He's just barking at the leaves. I don't know if you heard that. He could be barking also at another dog. There's other dogs here in the community. We haven't had any play dates or anything with any of them. His girlfriend is at the other house who he misses. He does sound like a bigger dog. He's 20 pounds now. So I think that's his top weight of what he should be. John's worried. He's worried about me overfeeding with treats. So he's like, I don't want him to get fat. I'm like, look at him. He's not fat. I'm really behind on any new movies or shows. I just watched Fantastic Voyage from start to end for the first time. Lots of fun. Like that one from like the 60s. Yeah, the Snoopy bark is really funny. Here he's coming over. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Here, let me show him to you. Where's your toy, boy? Yeah, He's wearing his, see his, if you can see it. There is his tick device, his tickless. But somehow he's able to bark like crazy with it. I rest my case. With Raquel Welch. Oh, what a little sex pot she was. Slings and Arrows. I love that series. 3 seasons, Canadian. No. Where is that, Potter? I love Canadian stuff too. Yes, he is. He's handsome. He's very much the color of a Cocker Spaniel. Everybody guesses what's his breed. Nobody guesses him as a cockapoo. But he's getting a little shaggy right now because he's getting his winter coat on. Aw, Jennifer. Thank you for loving Mr. Beasley. He's brought so much to our lives. He's such a little sweetheart. He's a really easy pup. He drives me crazy sometimes when he nips at me. But I don't know if you noticed on the video. I don't think anybody quite caught that on the video that I made of that tree. So I was so like, and when you get into the creative mode, your like brain is just like, and I did listen to that documentary though about the Wagatha thing while I was doing it, but it was across the room. I wasn't really watching him. I was listening to it. And then I got up and he had gotten a hold of one of my flowers. And while I was working, he was just on the floor on the other side, just tearing it up. So that's okay. So he did his own craft project while I was working on mine. Because, there's just way too much up there for him to be distracted by. I mean, he's a puppy. I can't expect him not to be. And so everything's a toy. But he did. So I took a picture of that. Like, there's my craft project. There's his craft project. I still need to clean all that up. The look on Beasley's face when he wants the scrunchie is the best. Oh, yeah, he's definitely zeroed in on it. And he doesn't want to play with them. He doesn't destroy the scrunchies. He just takes them out of my hair and sometimes throws them back at me. Sometimes throws it back on my shoulder. So I'll put it back in. He just wants to take them out. That's what he just loves, the pulling of it out. So if he sees it, he wants to pull it out and then he just drops it. So I let him do it. It's kind of a little bonding thing. But sometimes I don't want to lose my ponytail. I can definitely tell a difference in you. He has brightened your lives. I'm extremely happy for you guys. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, he really has. He's been a big addition to our life. It's almost a year since we got him, and we'll have to celebrate that somehow. We had a pit bull and 3 mini dachshunds when I was married years ago. The pit bull was just a love, but her bark that would scare anyone off. Then you have 3 dachshunds barking, and it was loud. I bet. That was quite a symphony of barking. I don't mind his bark. I mean, it's kind of cute to me, especially when it is the Snoopy. Slings and Arrows is based on the famous Shakespeare festival that's held in Ontario. Interesting. Sounds good. Mr. B, hairstylist to our Star Channel. Yeah, he thinks he's a hairstylist. 3 6-episode seasons were filmed, with the final season airing in Canada in the summer of 2006. I've never heard of it. Is it a period drama? Is it that kind of a thing? Sounds like something I'd like. I'm trying to think of what I watched lately that I liked. Well, I'm into the morning show. We kind of abandoned it when they went up on that rocket, and it just looked like it was getting, I don't know, weird. And so we abandoned it. But I thought I'm going to go back and give it another whirl. And then I got sucked into it. So it's good. And had like some shades of Succession, just in a little different way. Big business, media stuff. Rachel McAdams was in the first series. It's contemporary. Okay, I love Rachel McAdams. Well, I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. Yeah, I'm just constantly looking for stuff that's streaming. I'm really into British. I do love British series. And I think I have BritBox that I get those on. I like those Harlan Coben things and stuff like that. I fall into those. I recently rewatched The Killing. Wait, no, The Fall. The Fall with Gillian Anderson. Isn't that it? And then Jamie Dornan. That's a very intense series. I watched the whole thing again. So creepy. I would only watch it during the day, though, because I wouldn't go to sleep with that in my mind. But that was another good one. And she's got a good accent in that, although I don't think that's her real accent. I will watch anything with Matthew McFadden. We rewatched, I think, which is one of the funniest movies ever. Hear that wind? Oh my God, that's just quintessential swirling of leaves out there. I'm making like a little mini tornado. One of the funniest movies ever made that is John turned me onto it, and I can't believe I missed it. Was Death at a Funeral. They might have done a remake of it, but the one with Matthew McFadden. I mean, it's just it grabs you and never lets you go. This ride of this movie of hilarity, of all these different things that are going on at this funeral, and Matthew McFadden playing like the straight man, in it, and it's his real life wife that plays his wife in the movie, but yeah. You love The Fall, Potter? Oh, so it's about, hang on a second. Oh, well, I'll go back and look about, but I'll look that up. That Slings and Arrows. It sounds good. Did read and watch The Shipping News by Annie Proulx set in Nova Scotia. No, but it sounds familiar. Is it a movie or a series? I'm also into British shows and movies a lot lately as well. Well, Jennifer, let me know if there's any that you have really enjoyed of the Killing the Original. Yeah, I know that there was that the one done in Seattle was a remake of an original, but where was the original from? Is it from like Denmark or one of those countries? If you like SNL, there's a great documentary on Peacock about writer Jim Downey. He's written on the show for much of his 50-year run. Is responsible for countless classic SNL moments. Oh, that's cool. Have you been watching it? It's so uneven for me lately. So we've sort of been watching it. I like Weekend Update. The cold opens are generally funny, but I mean, some of these skits that just go on and on. They're not that funny anymore. But what do you think, TSB? Have you been watching it? I like old movies from the 30s and 50s. You watch TCM, film noir movies also. Oh, yeah, me too. Well, Body Heat, it's a good film noir. Yeah, I love watching older movies too. Our movie theater down by our other house will show them there. So it's great to watch them in a theater too. The Bridge, Danish, Swedish. Okay. The Bridge. I heard that was another good one. Yeah, TSP spends a lot of time watching old movies, old dramas and comedy movies from back then. Severance, yeah, people really like Severance. And there was something about the sci-fi element of that there he goes again, that I just wasn't plugging into. But I mean, John's been meeting his old friend from college for these weekly like dinner with Andre things. They call Dinner with John, and that friend of his was talking to him about Severance. But he's the kind of person that, like, if he gets turned off to something, he's not going back, and he feels that way about Severance. But I keep feeling like maybe I should give that another chance, because people that we resonate with in terms of their tastes really like that show. Seems good so far this season. Always a chance of skits not working, but that's part of what I like about the show. That's a good point. I'll put that in my thinking cap. All those are remakes by a word I can't pronounce. The Crime, a Danish police procedural drama television series. Wow. Okay. Well, that sounds good. There was one that I used to watch, Swedish. I like Swedish. I've watched strangely, one of my comfort movies is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but then there's the Swedish version. Both of them are good. Both of the, what's her name? The protagonist, the actor, both of the actors that playing the main character are good in that, but oh my God, what a story. And I like the moodiness and the dark and the sort of just the lighting is always so mysterious and dark and gloomy and creepy. Recently watched Dirty Rotten Scandals. That's a funny one. Portofino, Italy scenery. That's always a great part of watching a movie. Nordic versions, okay, of that. Speaking of British, a single series called River is fantastic. Okay, I'll have to look that one up. River. I'll look that up. Best of SNL skits on YouTube. That's a good way to watch it. I just watched Devil's Advocate. John and I were talking about that because I told him that you had watched that, and we were both thinking that is such a creepy movie that just unfolds and grabs you. And Keanu Reeves is so good at Charlize. You know, that is a really, really good movie. Yeah, Pacino is amazing. His mid-century modern apartment, gorgeous. Yeah, you're like me, Potter. You like to watch the sets. I'm always looking at the sets and the decor and the design and all those kind of features in scenes, you know, or in a movie. I mean, that's one of the things I love to watch about films. I think I'm going to go back to my morning show as maybe not, because I have to have something on in the background while I'm doing my crafting. Oh, you're an architect. Okay. That makes sense how you would love to look at that. That's another thing about Succession. There's so many beautiful sets. And it was so funny about that show is that the sets are designed and the scenes and the views and everything are designed for these characters to be ignoring them for the most part, because that's part of the dynamic is like they have all this wealth and they're surrounded by all this opulence and, you know, all this availability of beauty and everything like that. But they're for the most part ignoring it because they're stuck in their own little bubble of angst. Like there's this one scene. We're trying to figure out if we've been to the restaurant in New York because we've gone to New York and gone to some, you know, fine dining in New York City when we like dress up and go to the big city. And they have this meeting that's like a brunch kind of meeting. They have like a selection of breads in front of them. One of them is served coffee, I think, in this. None of them eats a bite. They take a table and they have servers at this restaurant. None of them eats a bite of food. And I think the one that gets the coffee and is, you know, hey, bring me a coffee and like wants this coffee. I don't even think he even drinks a sip of the coffee. I mean, it's just so well written into the script about like they're planning a meeting at a restaurant and they eat nothing and they drink nothing and they're served and then they leave. You know, it's like that's so Roy. Oh, TSP, you're a Downton Abbey fan, 100%. Have you seen the movie? I'm going to go see it again with my BFF down at the other house because I saw it by myself. The day it was released, I could not resist. And if you haven't seen it, it's worth it for that production design. I would say that to me, it's not like there's a huge story. It's more of just almost like a day in the life of these people. And there is sort of a big transition that happens, but there's not a lot of drama around it. But it's really highlighted the scenes, and you know, of course, you see the fashion evolving. You know, over that whole series, you see that, and that's part of it. But yeah. I only watch documentaries and real whatever. I'm only interested in real things. There's only so much time. What kind of documentaries? Anil, Annalie, Millie. What kind of I love documentaries too. Yeah, me too. I love documentaries. My cousin, I was supposed to, if I hadn't gotten sick, I'd be at the New Hampshire Film Festival. My cousin right now, who's texting me this morning, that she's mostly been watching documentaries. It's documentaries and shorts. I got to go next year because that's right up my alley, the documentaries and the shorts. And some of those shorts are documentaries too at that film festival. But she's been sending me like little notes on what she's been watching. Joining here late. Hi, Kathy. Everyone, Kathy, your throat. My throat's better, but probably sounds scratchy. But hi, Alaska. Glad you joined us. Oh, short films on YouTube, right? YouTube is a really good resource for short films. And I was Googling award-winning short films. So like the cream of the cream was coming up on YouTube. The on Mulberry Street, I don't know if you've ever caught my content about the Manhattan Short Film Festival. I need to post that because there is going to be, oh no, you have to be some sort of a member because they're doing a virtual screening of it. They all often will. Like after the Manhattan Short Film Festival has ended, they'll do like a little limited, you can buy a ticket and you can watch them at home and stream them. And they did send out a mailing on that, but it was like only for members of, somehow I don't think we're members of that. Probably should be because we go every year. But you get really, really high quality short films at that film festival if you like short films. I love documentaries that well in a variety of subjects. Yeah, me too. And if you like documentaries, you learn things. You know, that's one thing. I mean, if people are going to make a documentary about something, they're passionate about that subject and they want to really tell it. We have learned so much. My husband's life has been changed by documentary films. Like he watched the one on grounding and he like lives on grounding mats. You know, he's meditates on a grounding mat. He, even if we're going to like sit down and watch a movie, he'll get his grounding mat and put it on the sofa. He sleeps on a grounding mat. We have grounding sheets on our bed. Like that influenced him so much. And yeah, many other things from documentaries. I mean, you can learn so much from documentaries, like still stick with me to this day. Yeah, my cough, it's still there, but it's a lot better, Alaska. It's still hanging on a little bit, but nothing like it was. It's still a lot better. And I, you know, of course, when I talk, laugh, it triggers it some. I found an American version of the Thursday Club. I haven't seen that one. I did see that show up on. Was that good? I saw that show up on my. Isn't Helen Mirren in that? I should watch everything that she's in. I love when you recommend the film festivals. Yeah, I mean that Manhattan Short Film Festival is definitely right up there at the top, and it's so fun because you vote, and then you get a good look later and see. The one that I voted for was called. I voted for both Best Picture and Best Actor for the same film. Oh, I can't think of the name of it right now, but this actor, as a woman, was so compelling. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but I hunted down, and they didn't win. It was hard to choose because there were so many good ones, and they were so different. And it's just impossible to choose. But I just was so affected by that one that I hunted down the creator, the writer of that film, and put a message on Instagram or wherever I found him, and I said I voted for yours for both Best Actor and Best Film. And he wrote me back, thank you. That means a lot. I just wanted him to know that, like, I really, really appreciated your movie. Yeah, I love Helen Mirren too. I mean, she's just a legend. Man on the Inside with Ted Danson. I don't know what that one is. There he goes again. Also, people, for a very Australian but fantastic series, the series Fisk. That's sounding familiar. I love Australian series and movies as well, Potter. I'm trying to think of, there was that one, the Tourist. I thought that was good. Australian actors and British actors are operating at a different level than American. And you can see why, like in Succession, they pick mostly Australian and British actors to play these Americans. Their training is more extensive, I think. They're less dedicated to becoming a star, getting discovered is like the it factor, and more into the craft of acting. I don't know. I learned about that. It really shows. I mean, most of them are like stage actors as well, or start out there before they get in movies. And, they're just, even like on Downton Abbey, even the minor characters are like at a very high level of performance that you just, it's just a different value system. when it comes to acting, I find, in Australian film and British. Yeah, send me some links, Potter. I'll look that Fisk up because I just really love Australian stuff. Who was the guy that was in Bloodline? He's Australian, but you know who I'm talking about. He's not the best looking guy, but don't tell my husband, I'm so attracted to this actor. And he's so good. And I just saw him recently in something. What did we see that had this really good cast? And he was in it. You know who I'm talking about, Potter. He was in Bloodline. Who is this guy? He talks with sort of a lisp, and he's been around forever and in so many Australian movies. Oh, who am I talking about? I don't know. I can't. Ben Mendelsohn. Thank you. Ben Mendelsohn. Thank you. I knew you'd have it. What is so freaking sexy about Ben Mendelsohn? I mean, he's like a sex symbol over there in Australia because that man has it. I watch anything that he's in. And recently we saw something. I'm like, oh my God, this cast is humongous. There's Ben Mendelsohn in it. I don't know what it was he played a very small. He might have been in this Roof Man. Was he in that? I think he was in this movie Roof Man that we saw. I'm like, I cannot believe the cast in this. Like that, and it was not a big role. Back in the 90s, was he a hot commodity then? I don't know. That actor, he's got something. I've always loved director Peter Weir's films. Picnic at Hanging Rock. What other movies? I have never heard of Picnic at Hanging Rock, but I have heard of Peter Weir. I love Australian stuff too. One of my recent favorites was Ladies in Black. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go through this chat and like make a list of these things. I never even heard of that. Ladies in Black. What's that about? I don't know. I just think in Australian film, there's just a different dedication to quality. I don't know how else to say it. Oh, it's a classic 70s movie. Because I Said So is my favorite Diane Keaton. Why am I not remembering that? Because I Said So. What's that one about, Twyla? I mean, it's sounding familiar. I think I've been oxygen deprived for 2 weeks, so my more finding my memory stuff is not like right there at the moment. Hi, RTK. You're coming in at the tail end of it. Okay, this is what you're. Okay, where is Truman Show? Great. Dead Poets Society? Great. Mosquito Coast? Great. Witness? Great. I'd like to see that again. Film near me. Fearless, Master, and Commander. That's the one about the Scientology guy, isn't it? No, that's the Master. I love the top even more and have something. Oh, you like my sweatshirt? Apparently have an attitude. I know. Good to make a list. We're coming up with a lot of good ones. Because I Said So had Mandy Moore in it. She was a baker. Diana's the mom. That sounds really good. I love a good rom-com. He did an interpreted dance as Sia's Breathe Me. Ben Mendelsohn did. I mean, there's something about him that's just so awkward and that he's got that lisp and whatever. He's just fanning myself. He's got it. He's got that X factor. I worked on Fearless, shot in San Francisco, starred Jeff Bridges, who leaned on my car. Oh my God. That's the little brush with celebrity. Fearless. I know I've seen it. Remind me what it's about. How about Jeff Bridges with, wasn't it Glenn Close? In, you know what I'm talking about? Where she's his lawyer, killed his wife, but you don't think that he did. Isn't that Jeff Bridges? You guys, my brain is starting to like become mush. I calling that right? That movie, it's such a good movie. I want to watch it again now. Okay, just want to mention again, herbal summit mullein leaf. Somebody said they drink mullein tea. Okay, yes. The plane crash one. Oh, yeah, that is so deep. That movie is so deep about grieving. Oh my, about PTSD, really. Yeah. I thought it was good. What's the one TSP I'm trying to think of? With isn't it Glenn Close that plays this lawyer? And they end up having an affair and then she finds the typewriter. What did I just hear? Some sort of chime went off. God knows what it is. It's probably the chime to tell me get off of here. This house does that occasionally. There's just like a random chime that goes off. There was a triple beep chirp the other day. I'm like, oh God, please, not a smoke detector. I'm going to get going, guys, because this has been a while. And I need to clean my kitchen and whatnot. And it's been great visiting with you. Thanks for joining me. And that's the 90s, the wimpy floppy guy sex symbol. Oh, okay. That's Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah. Well, it's been fun talking movies with you guys. When Mel Gibson was sane and cute. That's hilarious. I gotta find out what that little sound was. It might have been my ceiling fan sound. That was a signal from my sister one day. Boy, we are getting some wind. So maybe somebody's signaling. Yeah, my voice is starting to hit the skids. So great to talk to you guys. Great. Thanks for joining me today and for shifting the energy around here. And we're back on track again. And, as always, thanks for the love and support and the camaraderie. And have a beautiful day yourself. And let's do another live sometime when we talk films. And maybe I'll make a list of ones that are kind of current that are streaming out there and stuff like that. I did buy Spy because we rented it. I thought I had it, but I didn't. And so it's not streaming for free anywhere. So I paid to rent it because I just had to see that movie. If you haven't seen that and you want a good laugh, Spy with Melissa McCarthy. That woman is so funny in this. And as is her little sidekick. I can't remember the actor's name. And Rose Byrne is in it, who's also funny, but she's the villain. And just everybody in that is, and Jude Law, of course, looks super debonair, and it's like a James Bond character. And it's got everything, but mostly what it has is comedy. And the comedy is coming mostly from Melissa McCarthy. She is so unbelievably funny in that movie. I watch it several times a year. It's just such a good movie. So I just bought the DVD because I'm like, why am I not owning this movie? So movie talk. Yeah, we'll have another movie talk thing. So I really appreciate the sharing and the suggestions. I made pizza dough, mopped my kitchen floor, washed a sink of dishes. Good for you. I did not, but you're motivating me to get that stuff done. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you for the entertaining us lately. I do miss the Morgan Honeycutt. Morgan Honeycutt. The nemesis of first and now the third. We're all looking for some lighthearted in the midst of the Adelson evil. Yes, it's nice to shift that energy. Gorgeous day here in Montreal. Last one, maybe as temperatures dropping fast, rain on the horizon. Yeah, I'm watching those temps too because it's all about my dahlias that are still producing. So they're still hanging in there. Yeah, we'll do a movie talk with TSP for sure. I mean, he's way more into that than me. I mean, more learned than me and sophisticated than me. And I wish I could get my husband to talk. I mean, like you guys are like simpatico on that level. So yeah, we'll do a movie talk thing sometime. And feel free to recommend movies to me anytime that are streaming because, I mean, I'm like quintessential. Like I've spent more time streaming, searching, looking for something to watch than the actual show would have taken, like just land on something and watch it, So a Jackie impression. You mean Tom Petty? I have not worked on a Jackie impression, but maybe I will. I don't know. My heart kind of melted a little bit to Jackie when I saw her dancing on that video, I gotta say. So it kind of washed away some of my Jackie issues. And she doesn't bug me like Daniel Ranchbaum. So anyway, that's funny. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off now, but enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for joining me. Great to see you guys. And of course, now that I'm signing off, Mr. Beasley is asleep at my feet, and going to have to move him to get out of this chair because it's a recliner. So check out Easy Riders and Raging Bulls documentary all about 60s and 70s Hollywood. John would love that. I'm telling you, I feel like, you guys just are totally into the same groove when it comes to film stuff and film interests. So definitely going to have to put you guys together at some point. Bye, everybody, for now. Thanks for joining me, and look forward to catching up with you again soon. Have a great Sunday. Keep the movie recommendations coming in, or the series. Good series. I love a good series. And catch up with you another time. Bye for now.